All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It's November 10th. NQ, we're gapping higher. Pretty nice gap higher, 1.5% this morning. We had talked about, at least in the traders think tank, into the close on Friday, we had talked about that bounce that we saw versus the 24,800 area. Pretty nice higher time frame sweep of that recent low. Looks like that October 22nd low right through there. And then a pretty nice bounce. NQ actually made a fresh high on that session, closing on the highs with a big daily time frame hammer candle. So now we gap higher. Price is into the 50% fib retracement of the recent sell-off. So that's taking it from the highs here on October 30th down into the low November 7th. And you can see the 50% fib right here, 25,555 is the level to be exact. So what I want to see for this morning, what I'm going to be looking at is how price responds to this 50% fib as a reference point. Really looking at that reaction in this area. The overnight high is pretty much right there, so it makes it easy for us. We have to keep in mind that near-term structure is still bearish until we start to see a break of the 800, 850 area, which is still about 250, 300 points higher. So buyers still need to clear this most recent lower high as far as this near-term structure is concerned, like this action right through here. Structure is still a series of lower highs until it's not. Until it is not. So let's see how price responds to the 25,555 overnight high area this morning. What I'm going to be looking for as far as positioning is if we see a rejection into this area. I really like the 400 area. The 25,400 weekly open is going to be beneath there. But this entire zone, 400 pretty much into 350. I want to see if buyers step in to defend that point. Remember, that was the previous breakout point from a couple of weeks ago. Still a pretty significant pivot right through there. And if that area is to fail, like if we don't see a bounce through there, I'll look at the weekly open as well as the overnight low and prior day high area for some potential buying activity for a potential bounce. Now that's the scenario if we see the sell off the open. Ideally, any of those ideas that I just mentioned would take place after 10 a.m. That would be like best case scenario for me. If we end up seeing a gap and go setup this morning, like there's a rip through the overnight high, hopefully there will be some market structure to get involved with either near the overnight high or near the 25,645 level of interest. That's always tricky when we see those gap and go setups. Sometimes there is not going to be any structure to get involved with, and then it's just going to be a morning to stay patient. Without a setup, there is no trade. So that's the game plan for this morning. Looks like we are going to actually have some economic data this week with the government finally reopening. So I believe we have CPI scheduled for Thursday, if I remember correctly. So that should give us a good spark of volatility later on this week. As far as today, I don't think there's anything on the schedule. Let me double check. Just some Fed speak. Some Fed speak for today. So, all right, that's the game plan. That is the GP. See what sort of action we can get this morning. As always, the goal is just to follow our plan. Follow our plan, respect our rules. Respect our rules. Session volume point of control, extended hours. So for that overnight session is right in this area, 543. There's your open, right around 540. Where do I get my news? Pre-market prep notes. Shout out to Mish. Where does he get his news? I'm not sure. I have to check with him. NQ up and through overnight high. See ES following suit as well. Question is, can we hold above? Can we see price hold above? Good volume right off the open. RTY, some weakness off the open. NQ fresh highs, just shy of 600, 25, 600. Look at that gap. RTH really tells the story here with the gap. ES with fresh highs. Okay, okay. NQ looking better, 25,600. Upside level of interest 645. See if we can clear this 600 area here. Do you think price will break 25,800? It's got to get through 645 first. I'll go level to level. Level to level. There we go. New high. ES also pressing the highs. Looking good there. See what else we can get out of this thing. See what we can do with it. Grab the microstructure right there at overnight high. Not my favorite. But I was worried about that opening drive. So we had to sample. Had to give it a try. Yeah, Benny's still trailing. 576 right now. I'll probably lift it actually. I'll go 583.75 and peel a little more at 15. There we go. Peel some off. Now with the runners, I'll let the runners be trailed. Almost fell off the stool. Jesus. It's getting wild over here. ES is nice and steady. Looking good. Benny, 60% fib at 25,700. I'm showing 61% at 755. Right now, I mostly want to see this reaction into 645, though. Got a level right through there. Still trailing 583. I want to let this one work as much as I can. No structure to trail with. Very unfortunate. Hopefully we can get a little more structure here. Last peel was at 615 though, so not too bad. But NQ is definitely getting into that upside level of interest here. Okay, new high here, and I'll actually lift it just beneath 600. Opening 15-minute bars, getting ready to close in about 90 seconds. Volume pretty light this morning. So far, it's just a gap and go. All right, I'm lifting the trail 598. And we just continue to ride. NQ's coming into 645, upside level of interest right now. Fed speak is ongoing. There's 645. Nice work, Gabe. Well done, man. Congrats. Yeah, I want to see a clean break of 645 here soon. I'm going to trail a little bit tighter. Rich still in there? Nice. Heck yeah. Fresh highs. I'm going to go ahead and lift the trail to 607. And we just keep riding it. Yeah, Rich, that's what I'm talking about. Into 10 a.m. would be amazing, but cautious here at the level of interest. Need a clean break. One minute bearish engulfing. Right at the level of interest. I want to see how this 5 minute closes. If we get a shooting star on the 5 minute, I'll probably just cut it. Lock everything in. Unless the trail gets taken before then. Currently 607.5. Here it comes. Trail's just beneath this local low. Gotta love levels of interest. Nice work, Gabe. Selling at the high there. Picasso, we are live trading right now. This is not the time for APT tech support, APT questions. Like, read the room. Come on. Focus. If you have APT questions, send me an email. There's the trail. We are done with the long. Let's see how overnight high is going to be treated. Yeah, Gabe nailed that. Shout out Gabe. Nailed that exit. Let's see. Entry was 575. Best exit was 615. Not bad. Not bad. Felt like more. ES is getting back in an overnight high. Jacob, good trade. Good trade. Good trade. At this point, I'll probably wait post 10 a.m. Tom, you got the short? 645 short? Nice. Man, you guys are on top of it. Let's go. This is one of those scenarios where it's like, should I have sold at 645 and then you sell at 645 and it ends up being one of the scenarios where you wish you trailed into 10 a.m. So just remember, there's never going to be a perfect trailing system. Shock 08 got the short. Nice. Some two-way trading this morning. FYI, Fed speak is ongoing. Let's see, where are we at as far as the intraday fib? Well, that was the 50. I don't love the volume this morning. Pretty light, below average volume. So ES is just shy of that resistance zone. Right in the 68.45 area. Daily candle showing good follow through from the Sunday night open. And NQ holding on to the 50% fib. We have 3 minutes till 10 a.m. So I'll be curious to see post 10 a.m. if fresh highs are being made and sustaining above 645. It's kind of the focus for right now. Here's 645. That's a pretty textbook fib buy zone retracement right there. I wish there was something else, like the overnight high with it or something like that. Let's see. I know ES retested overnight high. Just for fun, let's see. Yeah, see, that's that's what I like to see with the fib. Give me a reference point right there with it. Ooh, chef's kiss. 1 minute hammer. Dang. That's a clean ES reentry. Very, very nice. Albert QQQ had VWAP there. That's a good shout. I missed that. I don't keep an eye on QQQ at all. NASDAQ, fresh highs. Fresh highs as we get into 10 a.m. All right, we're into 10 a.m. We're below average volume. We're bumping into 25,645 level of interest. It's possible the easy trade of the morning is done. I'm extra cautious now. RTY, very nice up thrust at the overnight high. Gold is just ripping again. Wow. Of note, ES did not mark a fresh session high when NQ did. Let's keep an eye on this 645 area. NQ is up almost 2% on the day. That's our ATR. Wow, ATR is 450. That includes the overnight sesh, of course. So we're less than one ATR. But almost there, 86%. Volume past 5 minutes, 50% of average. So volume's kind of tapering down a bit. It was low to start, still below average for majority of this morning. In a pretty tough location, if you ask me, 645. So I like to see a good extension above 645 and then a retest that holds, like market structure based entry at the level of interest. Otherwise, pretty much going to be hands off here after that opening drive trade. Because if we start to see a rejection at 645, I'm not sure how aggressive I would want to be with the longs at overnight high again, considering higher time frame structure is still bearish until the 800 850 zone is taken out. Weight of the evidence. Weight of the evidence. Is this going to be a one and done morning? How's everyone's morning so far? How are we looking? If you didn't catch the opening drive, did you catch the aggressive 645 short or perhaps the 50% fib retrace long? Those are kind of the three trades I see for this morning. Bending nicely green and staying patient. What was the trade? The opening drive? Sam Green, what was the trade, Sam? Benny, opening drive and 50% nice. The 50% did look good. It did look good. Slept through my alarm. Well, at least he didn't force anything. I'd consider that a win. Last thing you want to do is show up late, kind of underprepared, and then force a trade. That's a nightmare. Sam, 50% nice. That was clean. That was clean. I like it. Nicole caught the ES overnight high trade solid. That was a good one too. That was a better trade than what NQ presented, in my opinion. Just based on the confluence. We love some confluence. NQ just inching higher. New high of day by a few ticks. 25,660 current high. There's ES coming into the highs. Dylan, are we taking a trade yet? Yeah, we had the long, overnight high long. Now just chilling. I don't love current location, and volume it's terrible. It's well below average, so staying patient now. Next 15-minute bar closes in 1 minute. And the highs failed to sustain. I think we may be looking at a deeper retrace here. Session volume point of controls up here at 639. Yeah, action is not super compelling here. It's based on, like I said, location, and then this right here. NQ's up 2%. As someone who trades longs, do I really want to be grabbing fresh longs up here with no structure? See that 15-minute exhaustion bar? Let's see if it shows some follow through. Look at the 5-minute. So it's a lot of barcode. I'm just looking for reasons to continue to just stay patient, right? Right now, volume's kind of the volume and location, kind of the main kicker. Des, how's the weekend? Weekend was good, man. We got some warm days this past weekend. Holding on. So that 15-minute exhaustion bar, no follow through. Buyer's pretty resilient here at the 645. Yeah, Mario. Pretty much same page here. This volume, though. I mean, I don't know if I want to put on any more exposure based on what I'm currently seeing. Kind of leaning towards no. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's see this next 30-minute candle closure and decide if we just shut it down for the morning. 6 minutes. And Q, there's technically a new high there. Last week's volume point of control, 25,715. And ES, yeah, a ton of resistance right in this area. Up into 45, 43, 45 area. Mario likes the short beneath overnight high. A little break of that intraday structure. RTY is just puking, pressing the lows all day. All right, so here comes that next 30-minute bar. See if we get at least a little uptick in volume here. If not, I'm going to call it. It's a good start to the week. It's a good start. One and done on this Monday, on this beautiful Monday. The idea there, like we talked about before the open, the potential for an opening drive move based on Friday's action and the gap higher. And also at the overnight high at the 50% fib. So it's a good spot for sellers to attempt to step in there. And if they failed, it'll gives us a good clue for the first 30-minute move. Buyers step in. The tough part then with an opening drive is trying to find an entry. So I go with the microstructure above the overnight high, and we just try and ride it into the idea is to ride it into 10 a.m. and then secure it at 10 a.m. reversal time. But got trailed out around 6:10, 6:15 area. And that's the one and done on the morning. Hope you guys had a good morning. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank here. But based on current action, based on volume, I've got pretty low expectations for the rest of today. It is Monday. Monday's typically slower. Hope you guys had a good start to the week. Thank you for your time, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.